Hello everybody, my name is Page, and in today's video I'll be looking at a new LEGO Ninjago set from Dragons Rising Part 2, LEGO set number 71808, Guy's Elemental Fire Mech. This set was released in 2024, where it retails for about 30 euros and dollars, and mine was already at a clearance, or not per se clearance, but already at a sale for 25 euros, which is an amazing deal. You get you get you get 4 minifigures. You get 2 mechs, one for Kai and one for the Wolf Warrior, and well, that's pretty much it. These sets also come with a bit of a feature, and you can kind of see it here on the back, where you can actually take parts from the set and you can combine them, which is, as far as I've seen in the trailer, actually implemented in the show, which is pretty interesting. I can't show that in this video, but I will make a separate video of combining them. One other thing, which is pretty interesting to note, this was actually the first set I got with the paper bags, which I'm finally happy that LEGO actually implemented those, and it's a bit easier to, well, get rid of. So, but that's it for this part. So let's just get into the minifigures first. So for the first two figures, we have Zane on the left and Kai here on the right. First of all, I do really like these outfits. The one thing I'm kind of not, which I kind of don't like, is the fact that Kai doesn't get an armor piece. That's like the biggest thing. For the rest, I really like the new masks. Like on picture, they were kind of weird, but actually having them in hand looks pretty cool. Both of the ninja come with a katana, but they're in the way of me actually showing the figures. Yeah, but I do really like these figures, especially Sane in this case. But let's take the helmets off. You can actually see that the faces are the same from the first wave of Dragons Rising. Although the masks, although they look similar, they are a bit different. But I really like them, and especially in the way that the secondary color is actually the top, which is pretty interesting. Also, for Zane's back torso printing, you can see some Ninjago text, and they are pretty much duplicates of each other. However, the printing is pretty much the same, just in some different colors. But it works. I'm quite happy to have a cohesive ninja lineup again. But this is it for the good guys. Let's get into the bad guys. So there are 2 bad guys in the set. On the left we have Jordana, and on the right we have a wolf mask warrior. Yeah. So first off, it's good to see Jordana get an actual minifigure, because in the show she had a prominent, I wouldn't really say she likely would get a prominent role, but she has a pretty substantial role in there. So it makes sense for her to get a minifigure. And the wolf mask warrior does look really cool. For the weapons, Jordana comes with a pretty cool blade, and wolf warrior comes with one of these old scimitar pieces. For the backs, they do look pretty cool. You can see a bit of the Imperium lines shining through on Jordana though. Taking the mask off from the wolf warrior first does look really cool, and you can see that it's actually just a regular person, and you have some glowing eyes at the back, likely something with taking over or whatever. I do really like the new mask piece for the wolf warriors. because it's just a mask, and it is pretty interesting that it's like kind of like a ninja mask, but then with the wolf cowl on top. Also, Jordana, she comes with a secondary face and pretty cool hairpiece, and she's exclusive to the set for now, um, which is pretty cool. But let's get into the two mechs. So, starting with the wolf mech, the wolf mech actually uses some of the newer Evo joints as arms, but then these weird plates for the legs to give them an angle, um, and these spine, or not spine, but for like trailer cars or whatever, um, as arm pieces. So he actually has lanky arms, which is a bit weird, and it looks different. But comparing it to like the other mechs from the Eve line, it does have its own character. So it does work on that. It also comes with tail and some really cool fur pieces and these gray claws. And I've seen some people who don't like these lanky arms, but in my opinion, it actually differs him from everyone else. It uses a great color scheme for the dark blue, and the medium azure and dark azure, I believe, and black. So it's a really cool color scheme, just like the figures. It's only missing purple, of course. You can actually open this cockpit up, and you can fit the wolf warrior inside, which makes it look pretty cool. And it's actually very poseable, where you can make him do the splits or kind of like that. You can stretch him out. You can do really cool movements, even with the arms. Funnily enough, this thing is actually more movable than the actual mech itself, but I'll get into that. Almost, but I'll get into that in a bit. But this thing, he looks really cool, and I'm quite happy that a side build mech for once actually can compete with the actual sets. So this is a pretty cool mech, and fairly fun to also extend the villains in this wave. But let's get into Kai's mech. And here we have Kai's mech. And when I built it, it felt pretty substantially big. But comparing it to like some other mechs from a while ago, let's say Lloyd's mech from a few years ago, they're about the same size. So maybe it was just me being a bit overhyped. But nonetheless, as you can see, compared to the ones at the back, there is some difference there. But it still looks really cool. They use the same electric pieces, which you can see on the arms, for flames. And these are on 3 ball joints. And these upper ones are like on a bit of slide on a swivel. But he looks really cool. He looks really menacing and strong, which is, of course, what you need. You also have a cockpit. Oh, it's angles. You also have this cockpit, which, of course, has place for Kai to actually sit down, which is, I believe, it's enough space for him to sit down regularly. Oh, the arms. Make him sit down regularly, and to close it back up. One thing I do find a bit weird when closing it back up is that there's a lot of room in front of him. I can stick my finger in here and it doesn't even bother me. Like, you can have 2 figures riding it. That's one thing I find a bit weird. What I do quite like is this new armor piece that they actually use for both the shoulders and the knees, where it's a bit more sleek than the other one they have, than the smaller one right here on the arms. It looks really cool. So the figure, the mech, it is quite poseable. It has shoulder joints, and since these parts are on a swivel, they don't stand in the way of movement, which is a big plus. You have some finger joints, which are the newer fingers you also saw with the Imperium guards. Same on the other hand. Um, you actually have a waist joint, which is a ratcheted one, so it doesn't shake, which is pretty cool. You have, of course, hip joints. These things can move, but I don't think they should. And you have some great ankle movement, which is actually able to get this mech in some great poses. Or, well, great example of great poses. um, you can actually move this thing about, which is really cool. There's just one thing, especially one thing that is missing. And I get it's from the feature, but there should have been wrists. There aren't any wrists. They're structured. They're rigid. They can't move. There's no joint in there. Also, he has this really big sword, which, of course, it's Sky. He should have a big sword. But still, it's the same size as the one from... It's the same blade they use as the one from Jay. But Jay's mech is like twice as tall. So, yeah, it's not that logical. But since these mechs have the ability to actually change, you can easily take them apart. You can pretty easily take... I said it was pretty easy. Pretty easily take the middle section apart, which in my opinion uses 2 new pieces. I'm not quite sure. This one I know already, but this piece is new in my opinion, or at least from what I have. But that does look pretty cool, and you can have a big mech. But what's even better than to have a big mech is to have a big mech fighting another mech. And that's where this set actually excels, because it's 2 mechs for the price of 1. Where in the other 2 sets, with Sora and Cole, you only get the big mech and you get a small enemy character. That's not really a fight, that's more of a hindrance. Well, where in this case you actually get an opposing mech. And for the size difference, or at least the part difference, there isn't really a size difference, so it can actually put up to that big mech, which in my opinion is a big plus. And weird that this set had a €5 discount, but the others didn't. So that point, they're kind of the same value. So that's really it with this mech. It's a good one. I have to see the others and get them in hand to actually see which one I like the most. I do suppose I would like the Cole one the most, but that's simply a personal preference. I mean, oh yeah, I had that other mech from Kai, that's true. But still, this Kai mech, it's a pretty good one. I can definitely see the value, and it is a pretty good value. So should you get this set? Yeah, if you like the new mechs and you want to change them around, then this is probably the best one to start with. Actually get a bigger one to get more figures. And if not, this is just a singular good mech to have. So that's a pretty good thing to do if you want to get it. And they are available now, so you might as well. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I will be reviewing more of these sets. I currently don't have any more of them, but I will most certainly get more of them. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day.